And I say you already learned Spanish. James Hetfield ya reacciona inmediatamente. Vamos a tener una entrevista con él. Están a punto de salir al escenario para esta tocata, gran tocata esperada, promocionando su álbum Garage Inc. Acaban de llegar. You just got here about, what, an hour ago?
Or less. Yeah, we rode our bikes over the Andes. Yeah, it's a long pedal, but we're here.
I would say you were in first in Colombia, Venezuela. You were also in Brazil, but in Colombia was about 100,000 people that went to the show. How was that experience here?
I didn't count how many actually, but there was enough as far as the eye could see. That was our first time there, so I think a few more showed up.
Now this is your second time in Chile. Your second time. Can you remember? Do you remember anything? I'm sure you do about your first trip here to Chile.
Well, we haven't been here in, boy, it's been 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. Yeah, but all through South America has been always really good for Metallica. Very dedicated fans. Dedicated is a good word. Fanatical is another word. But the energy that they show here in Santiago is I'm stealing it from everyone. It feels good.
Now, do you get any chance to know Santiago, or you just come here, you just get here for the show, and then you get a plane and you leave?
Right. We are staying over tonight, but we haven't really spent much time around here. A lot of times we're basing in Buenos Aires. Just, I've got some family by marriage there now, so. But no, we haven't really got to spend a lot of time here. But I do know, I think Tom Araya from Slayer is from here, so
right.
That's
great.
Some importance.
Great. And well, you've been playing with Sepultura. This is like the third or fourth time that you've been playing with Sepultura.
Right.
You were with them in Brazil just now. How did these two bands get together? This joint venture?
Well, I just think. We're fans of Sepultura, Jason especially, and Sepultura's name is something here, so we want to attract as many heavy fans as possible, and I think it's a good way to do it. A lot of big noise between the two bands.
Now they have this particularity that they sound like Brazil. That's the sound of their land. It's the sound of Africa also. They have those roots there. You've been playing with Michael Kamen. You have that influence. What are you going to do with that experience of playing with Sepultura? Are you planning on introducing or assimilating any of that noise in the future works of Metallica? Do you think that you will do that?
A Brazilian noise?
Brazilian noise or Latin American noise? Maybe if Jason insists, he's a fan of Sepultura, maybe he does.
If Jason pulls his little drum out and plays for us. There's no set plans on what's going to happen on the next record. We'll try anything once, but that's not something that interests us too much. Neither does putting the symphony on the next record. That just so when we go to write new material, we just feel it. We just see what happens. That's the freedom of writing new stuff. Once you start getting songs together, then you can add color or feels like drums or whatnot to them.
So maybe it just comes out, it plunges out.
Right.
Great. What about this album Garage Inc? You have the Garage Days revisited. You have the old covers, new recordings. Did any cover didn't make the cut, the final cut? Did you leave any cover out of this Garage Inc?
No. All the covers that were released before and all the ones we recorded made it. There were ideas of other ones on the list of what songs we should do, new ones. Kirk had a Bob Dylan song, and but I wanted to do a Tom Waits song, which might be interesting. But always on the list was we were going to do a Thin Lizzy song, we're going to do a Black Sabbath song, and it was hard to decide which one because they're all so good. And with the Merciful Fate stuff as well, we just chopped them up into little bits and made one big song. So. Yeah.
Is there any favorite in that album in Garage Inc? Your favorite? James Hetfield favorite?
Well, James Hetfield favorite would have to be Lover Man by Nick Cave, because it's just, it's just all vocals, man.
How did that work out? Somebody told me it was just fascinating.
It was giant. It was huge. The sounds that were created those 2 evenings were pretty impressive. The most difficult part was choosing which songs to play or which to not play, because we had 80 to choose from, and some songs we thought, well, we don't want to play them, but Michael Kamen would say, well, we need to play that because I have some great ideas for it, and it was impossible to narrow it down, but finally we did. We played maybe 22 songs those 2 evenings, from Call of Cthulhu to Outlaw Torn. We'd play, those 2 songs we've never played live before. We wrote 2 new songs just for that. And things like Wherever I May Roam were just giant. It was a good feeling to have extra musicians behind you, especially in some of the early songs that we had tried to write like an orchestra, like very epic. So to actually have one there was great. But we did record it, so at one point, we're not sure when, but there will be the live CD from the symphony, and also video as well. So everyone will get a chance to see and hear it and make up their own opinion.
Great. James, why you just mentioned epic? I don't know about what Metallica has done. Are you conscious that here there was somebody who was telling me from another press, another magazine, he was saying, are you conscious? Why don't you ask them? Are they conscious that of the impact they have in Chile, that probably they're as more popular than Slayer and Iron Maiden together here in Chile? Are you conscious of that? What's the secret for Metallica being so, I don't know what they do, epic, this thing they've been, you just go on, you've had your giros, you say in Spanish, you've done lots of things in your career, from glam to, what's the secret? What would you say is the secret of Metallica?
Well, I think we're honest with ourselves. We're honest on the fact that, we get bored very easily, and we like to try new things. And we're not afraid. We're not afraid to go where we shouldn't go, like the symphony or acoustic, or all of the rules of heavy metal. You're supposed to do this, you must do that, and you can't go here. We like breaking rules, and I think that's probably the most honest metal feeling of all, breaking laws. So but I think we're just honest with ourselves, and whatever music comes out is from the heart. It's not from the brain thinking of what should sell better, or from our wallets. It's all from the heart. So you can't write something that's wrong. You can't go wrong.
Do you improvise when you're you have a set list? But do you improvise? Do you use that freedom when you're on stage? You say, okay, we're going to play these, but on the stage you say, hey, we're going to do this other thing, and we're just going to go on. Do you do that?
Not so much. Not so much. I think it's kind of it's like you've sharpened your knife. Okay. You've prepared it, and where you're throwing it, and I just think the flow of the show needs to be just right. Depending on what concert it is, but when you have big outdoor festivals, you like to really have a flow to the set. But we have allowed ourselves freedoms, before the encore or after, things where you just goof around. But as far as the songs go, it's pretty much set most of the time.
How long will the show be right now that we're expecting here that will be transmitted by VIX?
Okay, 2 to 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. 2 horas y media vamos a tener de Metallica, así que afírmense. Would you like to say anything to the fans that are listening to us here in VIX?
Well, we love your support, and every time we come around, we like to suck your energy away, and hopefully you suck some of ours back. So, gracias.
Well, thanks a lot, James. Thanks a lot, and have a great show. Okay.